Welcome to the Numerology and Astrology for May 7th, 2022. My name is Suzanne Wagner. I do a daily numerology and astrology blog. Thank you for joining me. I hope that this is something that is insightful. If you add all the numbers together of 5/7/2022, you get the number 18. And if you add the 1 and the 8 together, you get the completion number 9. The 9 is the most feminine of all the numbers. It's about intuition, that gut instinct that most people feel, especially women feel on the inside. And in a world still filled in turmoil, finding places to rest and feel complete, which is the number 9, can be difficult. Yet it is important to try, even in the face of terrible situations that continue to destroy freedoms and lives. Too many hold hate in hidden places. Their damage inside, if given power, will try to control others and gain ground by taking from those that have less status and power. I've always noticed that the weakest control the most powerful with threats, jail, laws, and shame. This number is the strongest feminine number, and the feminine is what creates life. There is nothing more powerful than that. But the masculine has, for thousands of years, torn down the balance between the masculine and the feminine in order to take the tools of the feminine and claim them as their own. And that continues until the feminine refuses to stand for it anymore. That day is coming. That is inevitable. The only question is when, not if. The number 9 prefers to create order out of chaos. Those that push their order on others are the cause of chaos. When someone has a preoccupation with what they want, it immediately limits their depth of vision in favor of their slant and biases. Dream of a day where education is more important than dogma. Dream of a day where mankind learns responsible action and choice. Dream of a day when poverty is no more. Dream of a day when the powerful and wealthy do not control the construction of laws that intentionally keep people suppressed and under their thumb. The astrology for today. This morning, the moon shifts from Cancer into Leo. While some aspects in the astrology want to lean us more into ease, I would beg to differ. With the emotional intensity of being in between two eclipses, it continues to ramp up, and the anger is brewing on a massive scale. Know that we are in for a hard, long month, and we are only at the beginning of May. Mark my words that things are going to get dicey in many areas. Shortages are going to increase. We would be wise to bring manufacturing back to the U.S. and quickly. We have the resources if we are willing to respond to the obvious challenges with action and confidence. With the sun in Taurus sextiling Mars, there is a lot of push to get big things moving. Everyone can feel the tremendous stress building up, and many people are feeling angry and out of sorts. Situations are anything but natural. Many are desperate to use force to impose their rule on others. One of the things I want to say here at the end of this is that astrology is a map. Numerology is a map. There are systems out there right now that are computer systems that say, oh, when these astrological things happen, the tendency is this. And while that can be true a lot of the time, what really makes it interesting is if one feels beyond the map and feels into the things that are going on below the surface. And in this particular situation, while sure, I warned everybody about this astrology in 2016. I mean, it's like I started warning about this. I warned about, the Grand Cardinal Cross in 2007 before the downturn in 2008. And while astrology can look intense, there are people also that want to slant things into kind of a lollipop reality. And if you really look at what is happening, not just the astrology, if you actually look at what is happening in the world and you feel and use your intuition to guide you into those deeper places where the astrology is pointing, you start to discover those deeper places. I believe that Nostradamus was obviously one of these people who was, way better at it than anybody. And yet, even with that, he was wrong in certain ways, and his timing would be off, or people would misinterpret his timing. So we're in one of those places right now that you can't put the astrology into a little cookie cutter, um, because it won't make sense, and it'll make you feel as if you are out of touch with the reality, and it will continue to pull you out of touch with the reality. So, what we need to do is we actually need to look at things objectively and honestly, and then look at the astrology, and then look at how is humanity focusing certain planets. Like, are they focusing more with what is happening with Mars, or are they focusing more with Venus? And while you can definitely, see two things flowing in harmony together, and I do believe that sometimes terrible times are what forces us to come together, which I'm sure is exactly what's happening here. I also see a very scary trend. And that trend is about people just not doing anything. And as bad as it is right now, as bad as there are things not on the shelves right now, as bad as the pricing of things are right now. And, honestly, I could care less about gas, because I know most people have a big gas guzzling car, and I don't, because I have an electric car. But while gas can be a factor, I mean, look at the whole picture. Like, look actually at the whole picture, and see the trend in what's going, and realize that these types of trends do not recover quickly. And if you're nervous and feeling anxious, you should be nervous and feeling anxious. Um, while I am a Leo and I am always the optimist on things, I will also tell you that the trend is leaning into a very dark place. And while I totally believe in our ability to turn that around, I also recognize that people have to do something, and I don't see enough people doing anything. So I get it. Things have to really crash and burn, and people think it's awkward now, but like I tried to warn, we're in a Pluto return with the US chart, and this is the point where civilizations can destroy themselves by a lack of action. So pay attention and see what you might need to do from this point going forward. Thanks, everyone.